Yeah, y'all know what time it is. Allegedly with Brittany J. Let us get into it. Huh! Allegedly with Brittany J. Truth coming through, better clear the way. Cases, headlines, trials, tea, but she keep it classy, you can plainly see. Allegedly with Brittany J. Prayers going up every single day. Mom of 6 with a heart so strong. Real one here, you cannot go wrong. She do not gotta scream, she do not gotta fight. She let the facts talk loud, every move she make. From the missing in the trials to the news that breaks, she bring truth to the table, yeah, that is her lane. She lets people talk, lets opinions ride. Open to the what ifs from the other side. Speculation cool, when the respect stay true. She gives room for thought, lets the audience view. When the lies start flying and the trolls get bold, she do not fold up and she do not get cold. She respond with class, let the record be known. You can keep that circus, she is staying grown. She got family at home and a purpose in sight. Still showing up strong when the days get tight. And she praying for the people when they need that love. Trying to better herself while she looking above. So tune in close, let the real ones stay. It is allegedly with Brittany J. Allegedly with Brittany J. Truth coming plainly see. Allegedly with Brittany J. Prayers going up every single day. Mom of 6 with a heart so strong. Real one here, you cannot go wrong. Facts matter, opinions, welcome. Prayers up. Allegedly with Brittany J. Come, prayers up.
Apparently, we got people that like to zoom in. Zoom in. Hey, lovely people. What is going on? Hello. I look like shit. Got my hair on top of my head. Rocking that bun. Yeah. So anyway, hello everybody. How are you? I just thought I'd say hey. Good to see you, Nomad Beads, Brenda, Carolina Moon, Michelle Johnson, Brittany. Glad that you're continuing to cover this case tonight. Oh yeah, I didn't realize how out of the loop everybody is on this case. So I have to do my due diligence. Okay. I have to do my due diligence and make sure. What up, Got a Secret? Can you keep it? Hey, Just a RN. Hey, S-Dubs. Hey, Brenda. Got to make sure that you guys are in the loop about Skylar and Neese's case, because this is one that I absolutely have been super passionate about. Sparkleberry Shine, how are you? Did you guys see the thumbnail? I'm trying to get back in my groove. I'm trying to put my, take the quality up. I've been slacking. I know it. I'll be the first to admit it. So I am trying to put my thumbnails back out there. After tomorrow, hopefully, things will start leveling back out for us. And I'm going to try to get back into, just get my head in the game. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. Sorry, I saw a message. Ange Carter, Just a RN, Carolina Moon, Ryan the Gamer, S Dubs. Make sure I say hey to everybody. Ange, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Brenda says, I hope everything goes well tomorrow. Thank you. Hey, Laura. Good to see you. Hold on 1 second. Y'all, my son is patting me on my back. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Just a RN. Let's see. Nomad Beat. Hi. Michelle Johnson. Let's see. Brenda Jiggy. Hi, Jiggy. PJ, my sister from another mister. How you doing, girl? Brandy Dandy is back tonight. Hello, Island Girl Diana. Hello, Island Girl Diana. Welcome. I hope everything goes well tomorrow, Brittany. Brenda, thank you so much. Sorry, S-Dub says, sorry, y'all, I'm not going to last long tonight. Doc appointment kicked my butt. S Dubs, how are you? Are you doing all right? Thinking about you. I hope you're doing okay, love. So there's 119 listening. We know when it comes to true crime, the numbers are probably going to suck for a little while until I get back into the swing of things, because that's how it goes. That's just how the cookie crumbles. Which I'm fine with. I accept that that's, a part of the whole process. So with that being said, if you don't mind, please take a second, click that thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. It means more to me than you guys know. I don't want to sound like a broken record. Y'all know the drill. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. Clicking the thumbs up is a free way to support the channel. Hyping if you can. Thank you, Island Girl. I appreciate that. Miss Gloria, hello. Hey, Carolina Moon. Yes, and supporting the channel. One of the major ways to support the channel that helps me the most, and I make no bones about it, is memberships. Becoming a member really, really, really helps a lot. Oh, Ange, good. She says, good to see you too. I don't know what you got tomorrow, but good luck. Ange, tomorrow is our court hearing with Julie Skolnick. It's the hearing for New Jersey in the municipal court. So Craig and I both will be there. So Not today, Satan. Not today. We are not going through this again. Can you guys hear me? Good Lord. Hold on, son. Hold on. I can't believe that. Yeah, my internet flickered out. The internet went out, but it come right back on. I just need to know you guys can hear me. Please tell me you can hear me. I'm going to be paranoid. All right. 1 second, y'all. I'm so sorry. As soon as I go live, that's when my kids want me. Give me just a minute. I tell you what, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I know as far as with me, my kids, and kids of friends, a lot of the friends I have, they wait until I go live to they always wait until I go live to start. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Thank you, Lizzie. You are, oh, okay. Well, isn't that nice? Isn't that special? Good to know. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Let's see. That is one person I have no grace or need for on YouTube streets. Who, Ange? Who are we talking about? Hi, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Hi, Samantha. Hello, Miss Gloria. Who do we not have any grace for? What happened? Hey, just Nicole. It's good to see you. What the fuck? Is that what they're talking about? Is that the massive lie that they told? Who would ever lie about something like that? If you believe that I said something like that, and if there's anybody saying that normally I would just ignore this, but I'm going to address this real quick. Is it true that you told the courts that you didn't make it to court last hearing because your baby was born stillborn? Not trying to be rude, just hearing it in the streets. Well, I know that there's a countdown. They're making a image every day. They're making a new flyer with a countdown of court tomorrow, and they said that I'm going to be in big trouble, that I lied to the prosecutor in New Jersey. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now that's 100% a lie. That's not true. I never lied to the prosecutor. I believe in karma, and I believe that when you lie about things, or you you know, make up something horrible, that will come back on you. And I would never in a million years play around with something like that. First of all, I would never ever dare say that my baby was born deceased. I wouldn't even touch that. And number two, I would never lie to the prosecutor over a case that I'm currently involved in. Do you guys think I'm a fool? Come on now. If anybody believes that, I don't know what to tell you. You're being too gullible. Stop believing it. I'm telling you, it's not true. Angie says, I haven't heard anything like that at all. That's terrible. Yeah. Well, they are taunting me constantly, trying to taunt me and do things here and there, like boasting and bragging about how excited they are for court tomorrow, that I lied to the prosecutor and I'm in big trouble. But whoever said that's lying. They're in trouble. Or they could get in trouble for lying about that kind of stuff. Aries, I think something's wrong with you. I really do. I think you might not be dealing with a full deck. I used to feel sorry for you, and I thought that you wanted attention. But I genuinely think that Aries is seriously shot out. I don't think he's right at all. These freaks are are so delusional in their heads. Go get some flipping help. Well, it's what happens when you become hyper focused and obsessed with someone and you're on YouTube 24/7. They have no life outside of YouTube. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm hardly on here. During the day, the only time that I actually find out about what's going on is when somebody comes and tells me. I mean, it's these people, this is their everything, their entire life. No, that's not true, honey elder. That's not true at all. When Aries left here, he was going over into another channel talking trash about me. Aries was never my friend. And I never had a conversation with Aries outside of YouTube. I don't even know him. I don't know how you could be friends with someone that you don't know. Oh, Aries is a chat hopping troublemaker. He loves to get those pats on the back. He does. He sure does, Ivy Lee. Jacob Sawyer, hello, welcome. Let me see. Dusty Rose, hi, how are you? They come in here and make this post so they can get you off track from doing your case. It's obvious that's what they're doing. Oh yeah, and I'm going to cover Skylar. We're going to totally talk about Skylar and Neese. What did I just do? It's trying to get me to watch something on Hulu. All right, so yes, thank you everybody. I don't know if Reality's here with us tonight or not. She may be busy. But I do appreciate everybody. Like I said, if you don't mind, please click that thumbs up. And if you have any hypes that you would like to invest on your girl, it's greatly appreciated. Oh, there's my friend DJ. I was worried about him. He didn't answer me for hours today. Oh. Well, I hope everything's okay. Okay. So, Put a 1 in chat if any of you, if there's anyone here that has not heard of Skylar Neese or the case of Skylar Neese. Last night, we delved into it because one of Skylar's killers, aka what was one of Skylar's best friends, was up for parole yesterday. And of course, she was denied for the 3rd time. So this has kind of reopened the doors into Skylar's case. Oh, cool. Island Girl, Brenda, Pink Life, Christina, Miss Gloria. Okay. And says, yeah, I really want to learn about this case. That's where yes, we got this. We're doing it. So, okay. We're going to do a brief synopsis real quick. Let me pull up pictures. Hold on. We're going to go to Google. We're going to pull up some pictures of Skylar and her friends really quickly. Okay. She was very pretty, you guys. Very, very pretty. A very pretty girl, very vivacious. She had so much going for herself. So much. And these fools took her life. And it's totally unfortunate and just vile in every sense of the word. But here, let me share with you guys, and we'll tell the story of what happened, how it happened. We're going to look up the grainy image where Skylar snuck out that night. So here you have Skylar Neese in the middle. This is Skylar in the middle. And then this big-headed girl right here that you see, this is Sheila Eddy. She is the ringleader, basically. She's the shot caller. She is the brains behind the whole operation. She is the one who spawned the idea to take Skylar's life. And then here you have Rachel Shope. This is the other suspect. This is the other unaliver of Skylar. Rachel and Sheila were Skylar's best friends. Sheila, the brunette you see, big head in the front, you know, Sheila had a major case of what is it called, you guys? I'm drawing a blank and I was really on a roll. What is it called where you want to be like front and center? Main character syndrome. Sheila had massive main character syndrome. And she and Skylar were best friends for years, for absolute years. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a synopsis. This happened 14 years ago. I'll give you the date in just a second. This happened in Star City, West Virginia. Let me pull up another photo. All right, here is Skylar and Rachel and Sheila. There you go. Okay, very pretty girls. All right, so let's go ahead and get you a little bit of details before we go into deep dive into the messages and things like that. I just want to make sure everybody is aware of the whole story. So Skylar Annette Neese was the only child of Mary and Dave Neese. At the time, Mary Neese was working as an administrative assistant at the cardiac laboratory, and Dave Neese was a product assembler at Walmart. Skylar was an honor student at the University High School in Monongalia County and wanted to become a criminal defense attorney. During the evenings, she also worked at Wendy's. So Skylar had a bright future ahead of her. She was an A honor roll student. She thrived in all of her classes. She was very punctual. She was always on time. She never wanted to miss work. She never wanted to miss school. While Skylar wasn't perfect, she did things as a teenager. What teen doesn't? She had a amazing head on her shoulders, and this girl was going places. She absolutely was going places. Sheila Ray Eddy, who you see here in the stripes with the brown hair, brunette. Sheila Ray Eddy was born on September the 28th, 1995. She was born in Blacksville, West Virginia, to Tara Clendenine and Greg Eddy. Eddy's parents divorced in the year 2000 after her father was in a car wreck that left him with a traumatic brain injury. Eddy had been friends with Skylar since they were 8 years old. After having met at a local children's activity program called The Shack, after her mother remarried in 2010, she and her mother moved from Blacksville to Morgantown, West Virginia, where Sheila then started to attend University High School alongside Skylar Neese. Rachel Elizabeth Schoaf, the other suspect in this case, was born on June 10th. Ironically, her birthday is today, right now. Rachel Schoaf was born on June 10th, 1996, and she was raised in Morgantown, West Virginia. She is the daughter of Rusty and Patricia Schoaf. Rachel Schoaf attended a private Catholic school until high school. Then she started attending University High School, where she met Sheila Eddy and Skylar Neese. All right, so we're going to kind of, that's kind of a little bit of a background on all the girls. They ended up going to high school together. Sheila had been best friends with Skylar since the 8th grade, right? I mean, since they were 8 years old, they've known each other. They were, thick, tight together like glue. I mean, absolute besties for the resties. And then Rachel Schoaf transfers to the same high school as Skylar and Sheila. And then at that point, all three of the girls become inseparable. Everything goes fine. Everything's good. They're all spending the night at each other's houses, living their best life until Rachel and Sheila grew very, very close to one another. And they started to kind of shove Skylar off. Arguments became more frequent. Skylar was, wasn't being invited to spend the night over at the girls' houses. They just started kind of ostracizing her. So there was tension in the group, definitely. So let's go ahead and read about the disappearance of Skylar, okay? So on July the 5th, 2012, Skylar returned to her family's Star City, West Virginia apartment after working her shift at the local Wendy's. Her apartment complex surveillance video shows that Neese left the apartment via her bedroom window at 12:30 a.m. Let me see really quickly if I can pull that up. Okay. Skylar snuck out of her window. Hang on. Let's see if we can pull that up. There we go. Here it is. Let me see if I can actually. So as you can see here, look, here you see there's Skylar. This is the apartment parking lot. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can. Yeah, here we go. See, I'm not going to be able to play this video because it's 2020 and they will strike the hell out of me. But I can tell you what I will do. We will skip through it, okay, where you can see the video of Skylar running out of the apartment. All right, so here we go. Let me make it big for you guys. All right, so here you see, right? This is the outside of Skylar's apartment. Now here you see this is the vehicle pulling up. Goes the vehicle slowly pulling up. And then you're going to see Skylar running out. There she goes. There's Skylar with her purse running to get in the vehicle. As I watch this, all I want to do is just reach in the video and pull her out and say, stop. Don't go with them. But there it is. And you can see the footage is extremely grainy. There goes Skylar. Run into the car. Oh, God. I hate it so much. So, here we go. One more time. Damn. Heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. So, that is the footage of the night that Skylar snuck out. This is the grainy footage that law enforcement had to work with. And law enforcement struggled for quite some time with this footage. So let's go ahead and, good night, DJ. Let's go ahead and read more about the disappearance, okay? So Neese, as you guys seen on the video I just showed, Neese left the apartment via her bedroom window at 12:30 a.m. on July 6th and got into a light-colored sedan. At first, the identities of the occupants were unknown until early fall of 2012. Okay? It took them months to figure out who the occupants were. Months. After having been caught in a lie about the timeline of when Neese was picked up, Eddie finally admitted that the car was hers. Neese's father said she did not take her cell phone charger, contact lenses, or her solution, that her window was left open, that she had planned on coming back home. All right. So here's according to the court transcript. This is what happened. This is what happened to Skylar, you guys. According to the court transcript, Rachel Shove said that she and Eddie picked Neese up in Eddie's car. In the trunk of the car, Eddie and Shove had hidden cleaning rags, bleach, wet wipes, a shovel, for God's sakes, and a clean outfit for each one of them to change once the murder was over. You guys, these girls, these teenage girls planned this. It was extremely premeditated. These girls planned this meticulously, and they planned this for months. If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will. If that does not freak you out to think that these young girls will plot and plan the homicide of another, like, that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. Let me hold on, because I want to see if you guys, like, that's Skylar's parents. There's Skylar's mom. I want to see. Let me pull pictures up. Yeah, and the crazy part about it is law enforcement thought that that was an SUV for the longest time. They thought that it was an SUV picking Skylar up. That was how they kind of skirted by. That was how they kind of skirted by, detecting that it was Sheila and Rachel to begin with. So, is that crazy? Hey, D. Cool. Premeditated? Yes. It was 100. Yes, Just Nicole. It was 100% premeditated. 1,000%. These girls had planned the whole thing out 100%. And I mean, they had an opportunity. They absolutely had an opportunity to change their mind, turn around and go home. You know what I mean? And not do this. They had more than enough time. They had ample opportunity when they were talking about their plans and they were putting all of the chemicals that they needed to clean up, and they were picking out their change of clothes that they would need after the job was done. When they put the bleach and they hid the rags in the back of the trunk, they had plenty of time to change their mind when they drove an hour outside of town. They had a whole car ride. And what blows me away is it's two people. It's not just one. You mean to tell me out of both girls, neither one of them had a still small voice within them to say this might not be a good idea? I mean, hello. Unaliving somebody was nowhere on my mind at the age of 16 and 17. Right. I'm grown now, and that's still never exactly. Who dredges up a thought like that to begin with? Exactly, Ivy. So was it really an SUV or something other than a vehicle? No, Ange Carter. It was a sedan. It was a silver sedan, and it belonged. You poo-pooing. Oh, you poo-pooing. I see you. Give me just a second, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, now, where were we? Let me go back up and see if I missed anything. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I know it's a little slow. I just want to make sure that that nobody's here like out of the loop about what happened in this case. I am going to be showing you some interesting stuff. Just bear with me. Let's get past this part so you guys can actually kind of lay out a timeline, if you will. This case is absolutely heartbreaking. Thank you, PJ. I appreciate you. Just Nicole says DJ might be having one of those days. Jacob, maybe just let it be known that you'll be there if you need him. All right, sorry about that. My son calling from across the house. Okay, maybe just let it be known that you'll be there if needed and give a little space and time. Try not to worry. Sometimes we all just need a break. Yes. Yeah, I would just let it be for a little while. Ange Carter says, okay, I've got to make a couple packs of cigarettes. So I'll be listening for a few. Oh, Ange, okay, well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right. Hold on a second. Oh, little Tink Tink. Oh, little Tink Tink. Her brother woke her up. She was sleeping good. Hey, Penny Monroe. Penny says, hi, everyone. I'm late, but since surgery, I sleep 2 or 3 hours and wake up a few. 24/7. This is my pattern. Are you okay, Penny? Guys, let's please keep Penny in our prayers. Penny, I pray that whatever it is you're going through, sweetheart, that you recover speedily and you are back up in tip top shape. I cannot look after going through emergency C-section. My heart goes out to anybody that's being cut open in any way, shape, or form. That's all I'll say. It is not a good feeling whatsoever. So, and recovery bites. So, my heart goes out to you. Okay, so let's keep going, shall we? Are you guys with us here? So, Penny, and for anybody else that may have just be coming in, we are discussing the case of Skylar Neese, who was brutally stabbed to death over 50 times by her two best friends, who she thought was her best friends, Sheila Eddy and Rachel Shove. So we are going through the case right now, or we're talking about it right now. And I'm going to, we're going to deep dive. I'm going to show you guys messages, cryptic messages. I'm going to show you guys the court hearing. Like, we're not going to watch the whole thing. We're going to watch like what the girls were like when they had to face the judge. It's very interesting. Just Nicole says, after my brain surgery in March, I am just not the same either. I feel you, Penny. Oh, Penny says, and yeah, just Nicole, you were a trooper. Let me tell you. Penny says, yes, getting better. I go Friday for the first post-op. My issue has been swelling and nerve wars. Oh, babe, I'm so sorry. Penny, please let us know what they say. And I'm so glad you're here with us tonight. I really am. Thank you for joining us and all of you, thank you for joining us tonight and spending all of your time over here when you could be anywhere. Thank you so much. All right. So, according to the court transcript, Shof is the redheaded girl that I showed you guys, Rachel Shof, said that she and Eddie is the brunette here in the picture with Skylar that you see. She and Eddie, let me pull this up real quick. Okay. All right. She and Eddie picked up Neese in Eddie's car. And in the trunk of the car, Eddie and Shof had hidden cleaning rags. This is where the premeditation comes in. Bleach, wet wipes, and a shovel, and a clean outfit for each of them to change once the homicide was over. They wrapped the knives in towels and tucked them under their arms, y'all. Wrapped the knives in towels and tucked them under their arms. We're talking about 16-year-old girls. 16-year-old high school girls. I'm like Lisa. I've never in my life had a thought of unaliving somebody, especially one of my friends. I mean, my God. Come on now. Come on. All right. So, where are we? They wrapped the knives in towels and tucked them under their arms. They pulled up to Neese's apartment complex around 12:30 a.m., where she was seen climbing into the back seat of the car. The girls then drove to Brave, Pennsylvania, approximately 30 miles from Neese's home. They stopped at a location that all three of the girls were familiar with, as they had been there on occasions to smoke marijuana. All right, give me a second. Boom, boom. You want me to hold you? Boom. It's okay, lovey. It's okay, Boom Boom. You all right. You all right. Okay. Let me see where we were. I'm sorry, guys. The distractions. Okay. The three girls, okay, so they were all familiar with this location as they had been there on occasions to smoke weed. The three girls got out of the car and began socializing. Shof and Eddie claimed that they had forgotten to bring a lighter. And Neese said that she would go to the car to retrieve a lighter for them. After turning her back to them, this is heartbreaking, you guys. So Rachel and Sheila told they all get out. They all walk to the woods to hang out, kind of like on the edge of the woods. They get ready to smoke, and they tell Skylar that they forgot the lighter. This is heartbreaking. Skylar having no idea what was going on, having no idea of anything nefarious going on, right? So it says the three girls got out of the car and began socializing. Shof and Eddie claimed that they had forgotten the lighter, that they had forgotten to bring the lighter with them. So Neese said she would go to the car and retrieve it. After turning her back, Rachel and Sheila then counted to 3. And on the count of 3, the 2 girls attacked Neese and stabbed her to death. Neese attempted to run, but did not make it very far because Shof tackled her. Now, mind you, they say Shof is the one who has the most remorse, right? Well, listen, Neese tried to run away and did not make it very far because Shof tackled her and continued to stab her, with Eddie following close behind. At some point during the murder, Neese managed to get Shof's knife from her and stabbed her above the ankle. Shof claimed that she stopped the attack after being injured, but that Eddie continued to stab Neese until there was a complete silence and Neese's neck stopped making, oh my God, weird sounds. Jesus. After they were certain that Neese was dead, the teens attempted to bury Neese's body, but were unable to do so because the ground was too hard and rocky. And so they instead covered the body with branches, dirt, and leaves. Shof and Eddie then changed out of their bloody clothes, wiped themselves and the car down with wet wipes, and then left the scene. These bitches were calculated. Absolutely calculated. Skylar tried to run away and Shof tackled her. And so, and I'm guilty of it myself, thinking that Rachel Shof here, the redheaded girl, is compassionate, more compassionate. But I mean, that's an active participant, really. I mean, she's absolutely, can you imagine what that poor baby, I say baby because she was only like 16 years old, that poor girl was going through, laying there with her friend, stabbing her to death, both of them. I mean, it's just, I don't know how anybody can defend it. I really don't. I cannot. I cannot. I just, heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Okay, let's keep going. Real life mean girls. Yes, Just Jana. Yes, they are. They're real life mean girls. 1,000%. So then, investigation. Let's talk about the investigation. Her neck. Yes, Ivy League. Yes. Where she was bleeding out. And not trigger warning, I'm so sorry. But I've always wondered kind of what that meant too, like what they said about they waited until her neck stopped making weird noises. What I'm thinking is where, trigger warning, sorry for this, y'all, but where they stabbed her, maybe gurgling, or the blood was coming out, her airway. That was you know what I mean? Maybe it had something to do with her her airway or whatever. Oh, it's just absolutely horrific. Nomad says it scares you to let your kids do things with other kids. Yeah. I've thought about that before, not trying to get too far off topic, but I've actually thought about that before because, you consider cases like this, but I've also covered another case where a family raised a boy up with their son. Like he didn't necessarily live there, but he was always over at the family's house, and they considered him one of their own, to the point where the boy was at their house so much that the family eventually let him move in. They were teenagers. They grew up together, the son and his friend or whatever. The family allowed him to move in. The boys had just graduated high school, and they were just getting out of high school, figuring out which community college they were going to go to. And the mom and dad were very hospitable towards this boy because he had been in the family for so long. And they made a deal with their son and this kid that, $50 a month was all you had to pay. And you do you clean up after yourself. You have chores. Clean up after yourself, and $50 a month is what you have to pay to live here. And like, it was a situation where, the parents had their kids back, and they did everything for their kids. And not only that, like, they treated the boy just the same, you know. Never, never seen a sign that this guy was dangerous at all. They welcomed him into the family. They were going to help him go through college. And one night, this boy took out a sword and he stabbed the father. He stabbed the father, I think. He stabbed his friend, the brother, I believe. And then he stabbed their daughter. And the daughter was the worst case. She ended up losing her life. The other family members lived, but this guy was so evil that the mom, she witnessed all of it. And she said that this guy was, I don't know how to say this. She said he was so evil that as he stabbed her daughter, how do I say this? He got off. Does that make sense? I don't know what else to say. Do you get what I'm saying? This dude got off while he did that to her daughter, like stabbed her. And this is a boy that had raised, her and her husband had raised since he was in and out of the home between, he was always there. They basically had raised him. He grew up with them. Never in a million years. So yeah, not to get off sidetracked, and this guy was so diabolical and wicked that he actually had a orgasm while he was unaliving the daughter. It doesn't get more demonic than that. That's all I can say. And I just say all that and share all that to say, bro, that will keep you up at night. Because I guarantee you that family would have never in a million years dreamed. They said he never showed a single sign that he was disturbed. Not at all. Not a single sign. Oh, right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Sorry. Like, I know that's graphic, but I mean, this stuff's real, It's absolutely real. Skylar's parents never in a million years expected that Sheila, the girl that has spent countless nights at their house, went on vacations with them, stayed up all night on the phone with Skylar night after night, went to school together, went to prom together, went to everything. I'm sure, you know. It's just all messed up. Mm. Such a messed up situation. Let's keep going. Yes, at that point, you're not even human, right? You're not even human. I gotta ask this, y'all. I'm sorry to sound like a mockingbird. First of all, shout out to our beautiful friend Just Nicole for gifting a membership. Thank you for helping keep my channel going and for your support. I love you, and I'm so grateful that you're here and you support us. And thank you so much. You're such a sweetheart. Guys, if you were gifted from our beautiful Just Nicole, please tell her thank you. Let me give her. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much. Let me give you. Thank you so much, my love. All right. Hang on a second. Oh, I have to get me something for heartburn. I knew. If I drink that orange juice, I was going to get heartburn. Sure enough. Hang on a second. All right, let me get back to, you guys are amazing. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Oh, girl. Pook, pook, pook. Okay. Whitney, where have you been, girl? Oh, man, OJ is the worst when it comes to heartburn. It is, but it's so good. Oh, man, that orange juice was so good. It hit the spot. It was just the perfect taste for the perfect moment. It was just cold enough. I know you did. I know you did. The Ivy League, when I was making the orange juice, she told me to take my medicine and I didn't listen. Oh, poo poo. She's just laying here going to sleep. I love her. Okay, now let's keep going. Neese was initially considered by law enforcement authorities to be a runaway, and an Amber Alert was not issued for then a minimum of 48 hours in connection with Neese's disappearance. An early tip indicated that Neese had been seen in North Carolina, but the Star City police department determined that the person, wait a minute, I lost my spot. Dang it. Dang it. I lost my spot. I'm sorry. All right. An early tip indicated that Neese had been seen in North Carolina, but the Star City Police Department determined that that person spotted was not Neese. Neese's parents posted flyers about their missing daughter in the Monongalia County region. Police determined that the unknown sedan in which Neese let me see. So here's where they finally determined that it wasn't an actual SUV after all. Crazy. Um, all right. Give me just a second, y'all. I got her quiet so I can do this now. Okay, here we go. Hopefully I got her good. I appreciate y'all's patience. I apologize. Okay, let's see. Rachel suffered, well, that's not even the part I was at. Okay. Police determined that the unknown sedan, which Neese was last seen, had actually belonged to Eddie and interviewed her. Eddie, that's Sheila, by the way, y'all. Sheila admitted to picking up Neese, but stated that she had dropped her off an hour later. The Federal Bureau of Investigations and the West Virginia State Police hang on a second. Okay, so the FBI and West Virginia State Police had joined in the search for Neese on September the 10th, 2012. They began interviewing um, mm, trying to find my spot and I lost it, damn it. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. The FBI investigation and the West Virginia police joined the search for Neese on September the 10th, 2012, and they began interviewing Neese's school friends approximately 6 months after the homicide occurred. Rachel Schoaf suffered a nervous breakdown. Okay. Rachel Schoaf suffered a nervous breakdown, prompting her mother to call 911. In the background of the call, Shove can be heard screaming. She was taken to a local psychiatric hospital, which hold on a second. So she was heard in the background, screaming to the top of her lungs. She was taken to a local psychiatric hospital where she remained for 5 days. After she was released, Shoaf asked to be immediately taken to her lawyer's office, where she then confessed to the crime. So everything that they had done to Skylar was getting the best of Rachel, and she actually fessed up to what happened. Let me just say this. I don't care what you come in here and you say. I'm not going to acknowledge you, and it's not going to hurt me at all. It doesn't bother me one bit at all. There's nothing you can come in here and say to hurt me. So you're just wasting your time. Okay, so yeah, I just want to, I don't know if that little info snack is beneficial to any of these people that are coming in here, but I just want to let it be known, like, you're, especially when you come in here and you make such a big long post like that last person just did. I didn't even read it. I deleted it. I don't know what to tell you, and it's not going to bother me. Lord, is there something in the air tonight? Thank God she felt guilty enough to confess. I don't know that she necessarily felt guilty, Ange. I think that maybe she did. I don't know. I think it was more of a situation kind of like similar to remember um the heartbeat under the floorboard, Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, I think it was something like that. She just knew. And maybe that is guilt. I don't know. But she did. She fessed up. Britt, what orange drink did you say that you drank? Those mojos are driving me nuts. Who's driving you nuts, Jiggy? And I drank Simply Orange, and it was so good. It was delicious. I don't know if it's worth the heartburn I got now, though. I got to go get some medicine. I missed it. I'm always too slow, and the mods are too fast. And the emojis. Okay, here. I'll take the emojis off really quickly. It's so funny to me. They always like, oh, no, never mind. I'm not even going to go there. Nope. You get none of my time. Like I told you, you mofos. If you want me to acknowledge you, it's $10 and up. $10 super chat or higher. And then I'll read it and acknowledge you. All right. Hold on a second. I'm taking the emojis off. Sorry about that, y'all. I thought I did. Oh, I didn't. I missed a lot of stuff. Take off that. What was that? Okay. All right. Now, back to it. We're almost done with this reading segment, and then I'm going to play some stuff for y'all. I'm going to actually play the video where Rachel, I'm going to play the 911 call that Rachel's mom made, where you can hear her losing her mind in the background. I'm going to try to find, the interview with the cop who arrested Sheila? Like, for those of you that were not with us last night, if there's any of you that weren't with us last night, when Sheila was arrested, it was like prom. It was time for the prom. She told the officers, would you give me a second, guys? Good grief. Hold on 1 minute. I'm sorry, you guys. Let's try this again. We're going to try this again. My God. Sometimes I feel like I'm cursed. Britt, this is the case. I had something to do with this girl being obsessed with Slender Man. Some weird name like that. No, Digs for Truth. No, that is that was the 11 and 12-year-old. No, this case is about Rachel Schoaf and Sheila Eddy. They were 16-year-old. Well, 16 and 17, I think, when they committed the crime where they stabbed their friend to death. Ooh. Hopefully that heartburn medicine will help. I just took some. Okay. All right. So let me get back to where I was, and then we'll get on to our visuals, because I'm a visual person. I know if y'all are anything like me, like y'all want to listen to the audio and stuff. And we will. I promise we will get there. Did I totally lose my place? I did. Shit. Hang on. Okay. Rachel Schoaf suffered a nervous breakdown, prompting her mother to call 911 in the background. And in the background of the call, Schoaf can be heard screaming. That's the redheaded girl in the picture. Schoaf was taken to a local psychiatric hospital where she remained for 5 days. After she was released, Schoaf asked to be immediately taken to her lawyer's office, where she then confessed to the crime. The motivation that Schoaf gave for the homicide was that they simply didn't like her and they didn't want to be friends with her anymore. David Neese stated that these two girls were amongst his daughter's best friends, and that Eddy had even helped the family by distributing missing persons flyers. After her confession, Schoaf led investigators to Neese's body. On March the 13th, 2013, U.S. Attorney William J. Eilenfeld II issued a press release stating that the body had been found just over the nearby state line on January the 16th in Wayne Township, Greene County, Pennsylvania. It had been identified as the body of Skylar Neese. Neese's body was found less than 30 miles from her home. On May the 1st, 2013, Rachel Shove pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. The court transcripts indicates that the other students overheard conversations between Rachel Shove and Sheila Eddy about the homicide plot. Now listen to this. Now this, I'm sorry, this is going to infuriate the hell out of everybody, okay? Because friends at school had overheard Sheila and Rachel discuss plans to unalive Skylar, and they didn't do anything about it. Now, if I heard somebody, I don't care, I don't give a shit who you are, if you're my brother or the man on the moon, if I heard someone at school talking about unaliving another person, I'm going to go say something to somebody. I mean, I'm going to go warn that person, right? Like, could you imagine hearing two girls say that they're going to unalive another person and you don't even go to the person that they're talking about? What? Why? How do you like, yeah, listen to this. Listen to this. I forgot all about this. Uh okay. The court transcript indicates that the other students had overheard conversations between Rachel Schoaf and Sheila Eddy about the homicide plot, but they failed to report it, mistakenly believing that the girls were just joking. They thought that Rachel allegedly, according to these kids, they thought that Rachel and Sheila were just joking. They didn't know that they were serious. Listen, I don't care if I thought you were joking. That there's some things that you just don't joke about. You don't sit there and talk about taking your friend out into the woods and stabbing her to death. And how could you take that as it's a joke? Listen, I'm not trying to beat up any of these kids. You know, I'm sure they feel bad as it is, but I just, dude, really? I just don't get that. Right, just Nicole. What? Right, PJ. I would have told someone. Huh? Angie's all like, what the hell? No way. Girl, I'm telling you, they really believe they were joking. All right. According to shows, okay, so let's see where we're at. Okay. According to Rachel's plea agreement, she pled guilty to murder in the second degree by unlawfully, feloniously, willfully, and maliciously and intentionally causing the death of Skylar Neese by stabbing her. All right, hold on. Let me find my spot and I lost it. By stabbing her and causing her. Wait a minute. Well, I'll be damned. Hold on a minute, y'all. I done lost my page went off. Hold on. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so in the plea agreement, the state of West Virginia recommended the sentence of 20 plus years incarceration. Cho's family issued public apologies through their lawyer for their daughter's actions following her guilty plea on May the 1st, 2013. Uh, on February the 26th, 2014, Rachel Shoaf received a sentence of 30 years in prison with the eligibility for parole. Wait a minute, that's not right. Hold on. Wait a second. All right, give me a second. We're about to put, you know what? We're going to go ahead. I'm going to read that part about Sheila, and then we're going to go ahead and pull up Shoaf and their court thing. I want y'all to see it. Y'all got to see how callous Sheila Eddy is anyway. Okay, so on September the 4th, right? Several months after Sheila or Rachel had already been to court. Several months. On September the 4th, 2013, West Virginia prosecutors publicly, wow. All right, give me a second. On here we go. September the 4th, West Virginia prosecutors. September the 4th, 2013, West Virginia prosecutors publicly identified Eddy as the second alleged perpetrator that she and that she would be tried as an adult. Sheila Eddy was indicted by a grand jury on September the 6th, 2013. On one count of kidnapping, one count of first degree murder, and one count of conspiracy to commit. Let me see. She was indicted by a grand jury on September the 6th, 2013, on one count of kidnapping, one count of first degree unaliving, one count of conspiracy to commit murder, because she's the one, that heifer is the one that concocted the plan. She pled not guilty, you guys. The date of the trial was originally set for January 28, 2014. Um, let me see, guys, where we're at. All right, let's see. All right, the date of the trial was originally set for January 28, 2014, facing the prospect of additional charges from Pennsylvania. Eddy, listen to this. Her prideful little ass, Sheila Eddy's prideful, evil self, decided at the very last minute, after running Mary and David into the ground by making them have to go to the court hearings and stuff like that. Let me see this. We're about to pull this up, you guys. I'm anxious to show y'all this. So she pled guilty. She pled guilty all of a sudden out of nowhere. She expressed no remorse, but was sentenced to life in prison with mercy while sentenced as an adult. West Virginia law, as confirmed by the entire U.S. and the Supreme Court of the United States 2012 decision, Miller versus Alabama, requires that a juvenile offender, let's see, have wait a minute, sorry. A juvenile offender have a possibility of parole on a whole life sentence, with Eddie eligible for parole after 15 years. For Pennsylvania authorities did not file charges as per the plea deal. Eddie originally was held in a facility for juveniles after her arrest. As of February 2026, Eddie and Shoaf both remain in custody at the Lakin Correctional Center, adjacent to the Ohio River. Shoaf has been denied parole twice in 2023 and 2024. Oh shoot. And which we know she was denied for a third time yesterday. But Shoaf is going to be released in 2028 regardless. And and I think that's just what they're going to do. They're going to keep it there. All right. Thank you for being patient with me going through all of that. Now we'll get to the interesting stuff. Like I can actually show y'all. How the hell did I do that? I'm sorry. Yeah. And I'm good. I booted my damn self. I was trying to pull up Sheila Eddy the court stuff and I booted my damn self. I'm sorry. Here, let's do I want to show y'all Sheila's first. What are we gonna do? Sentencing. All right, hold on. Here we go. Should we do the sentencing? Yeah, here we go. Probably need to go on YouTube. Let me just go on YouTube and do it, guys. Because I want you guys to see this. This heifer, that what she did to that family, and she's supposed to be like a family friend too. Bro, just evil. Give me a second. We do Eddie sentencing, right? There we go. Here it is. There she is. There she is in all her damn evil glory. And then some. Let me poor David Mary. All right, give me a second. There it is. Here she is, you guys, in all her damn glory. It's a little, look at that. Ugh. Here we go. Oh, sorry.
Sheila Eddy, how do you plead to the offense of murder in the first degree of the felony charged in count 3 of the indictment in this case?
Guilty.
The record will reflect that the defendant has entered a plea of guilty to the offense of murder in the first degree of the felony charged in count 3 of the indictment in this case. You may be seated. Watch the chair, please. Now, what would the state have expected to prove in this case if it had gone to trial?
Your Honor, on the night of July 5th and 6th, 2012, Skylar Neese disappeared and was never seen alive again. At a trial, the state's evidence would prove that Skylar's disappearance and death were the result of a conspiracy between Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf to rid themselves of their friend Skylar by killing her. They achieved their goal by planning to pick up Skylar from her residence after her evening of work had been completed. They planned to drive around, socialize some, and then stop at a location to smoke dope. Their scheme was to hide knives on their bodies and to attack Skylar at an agreed upon moment. They even prepared
Think
by
about
bringing
that.
a shovel with them to bury.
Can I just point out something diabolical? And I use that word again because I can't think of anything that would constitute this. Think about this for a minute, y'all. Rachel and Sheila both drove for 30 minutes, 45 minutes with a knife tucked in their arms, both of them, while they had full conversations with Skylar. They had a full conversation. They talked about something on the way to the scene of the crime. They sat there and shot the shit while holding a knife under their arms. Think about that.
Skylar's body. Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf carried out that plan. Together they stabbed and killed Skylar and left her body to nature. Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf carried out that plan in conspiracy with each other and finalized that plan. As I have said, that would be our evidence, and that evidence in conjunction with Rachel Schoaf's evidence at trial regarding those events would combine with physical evidence to include Sheila Eddy's car, the vehicle that was used to transport Skylar that night, having the DNA of Skylar Neese in the form of blood on a part of the trunk of that car. We have also recently received a report from the FBI laboratory that shows that a vertebrae of Skylar that was collected from the scene of the murder shows evidence of injury that is consistent with having been caused by a knife blade. So with the physical evidence, the testimony of a co-defendant, and other testimony that would be part of a full trial, we believe that a jury would find beyond any reasonable doubt that this defendant is guilty as she has been indicted.
Ms. Eddy, have you heard what the prosecutor said the state's evidence would be?
Yes, sir.
Is that substantially correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that what happened?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Eddy, are you entering a plea of guilty to the offense of murder in the first degree, the felony charged in count 3 of this indictment, because you are in fact guilty of this offense?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Benninger, before I accept your client's guilty plea, having consulted with your client, having investigated the case, and having heard the representations of the state with respect to its evidence, can you see any advantage to your client if this case proceeded to trial?
No. The reason for that, my conclusion, is based upon my investigation, which has coextended with the full and complete discovery that we have requested and which we have been provided by the state, the federal government through the FBI, and the authorities in Pennsylvania who recovered and held the body and the remains of Skylar Neese. I have examined the law, the entire scope of the law here in West Virginia, under federal law and under the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, to attempt to find a reasonable defense in law for my client. I have found none. I have looked at all the evidence. As the court's aware, we filed a number of pretrial motions, one or more of which was to suppress certain aspects of the state's case. We have thoughtfully, carefully, and in unison with Sheila Eddy and her family, have evaluated every piece of paper, literally every piece of paper, every video, every audio recording provided to us in discovery, pretrial proceedings. And I have found negligible, if any, factual basis upon which to develop a defense in this murder and conspiracy case.
So with that, the court is prepared to proceed to sentencing. Mr. Benninger, anything that you wish to offer by way of testimony, proffer, or statement before sentencing in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, briefly.
Proceed.
On behalf of Sheila Eddy and in her right of allocution, I would state that while clearly understood by the court, the prosecuting attorney's office, and law enforcement, the silence which has surrounded these proceedings and our work in them should not be construed by the Neese family or any member of our community as a sign or expression of disrespect, or as a sign of lack of remorse by Sheila Eddy and any member of her family, or as a sign of any lack of concern, worry, or caring by Sheila Eddy or any member of her family resulting from Skylar's death. The silence which has surrounded these proceedings was caused and insisted upon by me, so that the work we needed to do on the defense was to preserve the integrity of the proceedings, the rights of Sheila Eddy, the rights of Rachel Schoaf, and most importantly, the rights of Skylar Neese and her family, so they could be protected without interference from the press, public opinion, or the statements and expressions made on the internet and in social media, which have been numerous. Now that we have come to this place in time in the proceeding, I can state without hesitation or reservation that all concerned must know and understand that Sheila Eddy, my client, and her family recognize that the Neese family is in a constant state of despair, loneliness, and sadness as a result of Skylar's death. For that, Sheila Eddy and her family are and will be eternally sorry. These proceedings are now coming to a close. With this conclusion, we hope that all families, the Neese family, most importantly, the Eddy family, and the Schoaf family, all tragically affected by the actions of Sheila and Rachel, resulting in Skylar's death, can move forward in a more peaceful and hopeful way.
Ms. Eddy, at this time, I would advise you of your right to allocution. That is your right to make any statement that you might wish the court to consider before it passes sentence in this matter. Do you have anything that you wish to say at this time?
Your Honor, I can, on behalf of my client, she asked that she be permitted to remain silent.
Skylar's aunt, Mary, Neese's sister. And you know what? I don't know what in the world would ever make somebody feel
That heifer That heifer wouldn't even make an apology. Can you believe that? My client likes to retain her rights to remain silent, Your Honor. She can't even get up there and tell Dave and Mary, you know, F you. She can't even tell them that. She can't even give, I mean, you, nothing, not, I mean, that should tell you. And honestly, that little whimper you hear that sounds like she's crying, you can best believe with every fiber of your being, if there is any tears, it's because she's in trouble for herself. You know what I mean? Those tears are for herself. She feels bad for herself. She got caught. It's just absolutely insane. And don't make fun of me because I super chat myself. I would never ask y'all to do nothing I ain't willing to do myself. Lord. Hold on a second. Oh my goodness. Jiggy, thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate it. She says, I love your true crime. Well, thank you. I feel like it's been heavily interrupted tonight, and I keep having to tell y'all to hold on, and for that I apologize. I really wish I could show y'all this little toot. Oh my God, she's so adorable. I'll just explain it. She's in her little bouncy over here beside me. And she's got her feet together like she's praying. Only she's got her feet like that. Which is the most adorable thing in the world. And she's got her hands up beside her. And then she's got her little chin rested on her chest. So it's making her little cheeks, her little fat cheeks, just spread out really far. Oh my God. It is just the most adorable scene ever. Babies really are like the most precious thing on earth. They really are. All right, give me a second. Hold on. We're going to get right back into it, guys. Thank you, Jiggy. And thank you for the compliment, too, by the way. I definitely feel like I can do a lot better. And I will. I'll get back in my swing of things. But thank you, Jiggy. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Let me get her a round of applause. Thank you for contributing towards the goal. Actually, the reason I said I was testing it and the reason that I super chatted myself was I wanted to see if it was actually counting as it was counting towards the goal, and it is. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to click that thumbs up, guys. That's a free way to support the channel. Thank you. Buzzy Bee, what did I lie about? Oh, Jen's mess. You know, if I was you, I'd be embarrassed to show my face. Hey, guys, let me tell you a little bit about Jen's mess. She effed with my, she really effed with my, what do you call it? My baby registry. Didn't you, Jen? Jen went on there and she selected things and made it appear as though they were purchased. Didn't you, Jen? Jen went on there on my baby registry and she marked everything off as if it was purchased, trying to sabotage the registry, trying to keep a baby from getting things that she potentially needs and could use. Like, Jen is salty over a baby, you guys. Let me tell you something else about Jen. She's in Clue's Discord every single day. Doesn't miss a day. Trashing me. Looking at my personal stuff. Talking about my children. Don't you, Jen? You're embarrassing, Jen. You give me secondhand embarrassment. Truly. You really do. No, it's okay, Jiggy. I just wanted to let you guys know who Jen's mess is. You know, she likes to take from little babies. Let's keep going.
Feel the need to have to kill someone in this world over anything. Nothing could be that tragedy that you couldn't work out without having to kill them. She's taken the hopes and dreams from my sister, from the prom to graduation to being a grandmother and planning a wedding. She'll never have any of this. And she's tore so many families apart that everything she gets coming to her, I feel is due to her. She came and she acted as if she knew nothing. She pretended like she was her friend and stayed and comforted us and swore she had no idea what was going on, and the whole time she knew. And to sit there and look at us and tell us she knew nothing, and now come to this day and she admits that she did, just shows how evil she can be. Thank you.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Laura.
This is Dave. For those of you that might have missed it last night, this is Skylar's father, and he's angry as he's still angry to this day.
And again, sir, if you would just please identify yourself for the record, then you may speak.
My name is David Neese. I'm Skylar's father. I'm here today with my wife, Mary. I'm speaking to you on behalf of my daughter because she can't be here. On July 6th, she made a decision to leave her house and go through a window and supposedly go with two friends, and I use that term. I'm sure you know what I mean. When we learned that she was missing, we immediately went to the Star City Police, who couldn't do anything with us, so they just listed her as a runaway. Since that date, my wife's life has drastically altered. We are no longer a family. The person sitting before you, Skylar's so-called friend, took her away from us without any remorse or feelings. You can look into the eyes of those who are responsible, but you can never hear what they heard as they were taking her life.
I hope that his words, I hope those girls hear his words and his cry every night when they go to sleep. And Roxy, it is so nice to see you. It's been a long time. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Guys, I want to share these with y'all real quick. This is so off topic, but these are so good. I don't know. In order for you to actually like these, you would have to like oats. If you don't like oats, oatmeal, or granola bars or anything like that, you're not going to like these. But if you do, guys, these, if you can, they're called Bobo's strawberry stuffed oat bites. Oh my goodness. Brava. These are so good. I've done ate like the whole box almost. Wait a minute. Come on. because I'm really trying to share something really good with y'all. And they're good for you too. They're plant-based for my vegan and vegetarian friends. Wait a minute. Hold on, child. Anyway, I don't know if you can see that. They're called Bobos. Definitely try them. They're worth every penny. Give me 1 minute, please. Oh, and you're leaving again, Roxy? It's so good to see you. Give me just a second, guys.
You see the faces of the killer, but you can't see Skylar's face. You can never understand the fear that she must have had as he took a knife and ended her life. You cannot imagine the pain that Skylar must have felt and the pain that Mary and I now feel. Your Honor, Skylar deserves to be heard today.
As I've said, and as you've heard very painfully from Mr. Neese, on the night of July 5th and 6th, 2012, Skylar Neese disappeared forever. It became known.
It's horrible. Bless them. My heart hurts for them so much. I just don't understand what could go through those girls' minds to make them think that that was the option. Oh, really, Roxy? That's cool. That's awesome. Taking a long weekend getaway. Are you coming back? Are you going to come back and hang out with us when you're back? Yeah, this one broke my heart. And then you got Mary beside him, and she's equally as hurt. My heart just hurts for the parents of Skylar. Hold on a second. My heart just hurts for the parents of Skylar. To lose your child is such a horrible. Wait a minute. Give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Let's my heart hurts for the parents of Skylar. To lose your child is such a horrific way. In any way, I couldn't even begin. It's just so heartbreaking, right? To lose your child in such a horrific way in any way, I couldn't even begin to imagine. Knowing that your daughter's best friend, who she trusted, was so evil. And then last night, when we were listening to Dave's interview, um, so heartbreaking.
That Skylar had last been in the company of her two best friends. One of them, Sheila Eddy, had been friends with Skylar since grade school. The other,
Ugh.
Rachel Schoaf, was a friend of more recent vintage. The investigation after that by police covered much ground and varying theories as to why Skylar had disappeared and how and when she might be found. Because Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf were known to have been with Skylar on the night of July 5th, 2012, they were questioned by police a number of times during the ensuing months. They repeatedly claimed to have left Skylar at a location near her home and repeatedly disclaimed any further contact with her. Their agreed upon story held up until late 2012, when Rachel Schoaf's story added a piece that Sheila Eddy's story had not caught up with yet. Skylar's remains, and mind you, not her body, but remains, were finally recovered in mid-January 2013. The reason for that was that on January 3rd, 2013, Rachel Schoaf finally agreed, after securing her own benefits, to tell the truth about Skylar's demise. She also drove with police on that date to show where Sheila Eddy and she had left Skylar's body that night in July. The truth that Rachel Schoaf disclosed about this horrific and vile crime included these things. Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf had begun to distance themselves from Skylar. They had begun to fear that their friendship would dissolve. And if that were to happen, Sheila and Rachel worried that Skylar would divulge their secrets, the kind of secrets perhaps that girls have, and other things. The conflict grew between them over time, or at least in the minds of Rachel and Sheila. And during that time, Sheila and Rachel discussed methods of getting rid of Skylar. And then came the summer of 2012, after Sheila returned from a week at the beach in June of 2012, when Skylar had accompanied Sheila's family. Sheila told Rachel of her continual quarreling with Skylar during that trip at the beach. And the desire between Rachel and Sheila to rid themselves of Skylar intensified. So they made a plan to pick up Skylar after her work on July 5th, 2012, and to kill her. To carry out this plan, they armed themselves with kitchen knives concealed beneath their clothing. And they brought a shovel and clean clothing for themselves for when they were finished. After they picked up Skylar, they drove to a location with which they were familiar from prior times of driving around and smoking marijuana. After the three girls were all outside of the car, at an agreed upon signal, a countdown actually, those two girls, Sheila and Rachel, both stabbed Skylar to death. They stabbed her multiple times. Skylar fought back and attempted to run, but she was overcome by her attackers. They stood over her until her last breath. Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf tried to bury Skylar, but they couldn't dig into the hard earth at that time. So they left her body and tried to cover it up with tree branches and other natural debris that was around the site. They changed to clean, unbloody clothing and returned to their lives. These murderers, however, must now pay a price for their depraved actions. Today, we ask you to sentence Sheila Eddy to life in prison, acknowledging that under our law and under this plea agreement, she will become parole eligible. But we're asking you today, Your Honor, here today, to sentence this defendant to adult prison for her very adult crime. And we're asking that she not be returned to juvenile services custody, as is a prerogative of the court. I would remind you that if Sheila Eddy is now 18, she is no longer an actual juvenile, an actual underage offender. If she were to have committed a crime now at the age of 18 years, a crime of murder or even a lesser crime, she would go to adult jail and eventually adult prison. And that's what we're asking for today.
Nothing, Your Honor, except that I ask that you exercise your discretion in face of the request of the state that she be remanded to the adult jurisdiction of the Division of Corrections, that she be given the period of at least 1 month time period within which to remain in juvenile services custody before being transferred to adult jurisdiction. That's my only request. A very short period of 1 month. Obviously, you have the discretion to recommend a period until she's 21, but I believe a period of 1 month would give an appropriate time for humane adjustment to the eventual transfer to that system.
Very well. Ms. Eddy, would you please stand? Sheila Eddy, for your conviction of the offense of murder in the first degree upon your plea of guilty, it is a sentence of the court that you've been imprisoned in the West Virginia State Penitentiary for the rest of your natural life. Consistent with the requirements of the Constitution of the United States, that sentence is technically with mercy, which makes you eligible for parole after you have served 15 years. With respect to placement, it is the court's intention that the defendant be placed in the custody of the Department of Corrections as soon as a bed is available in a Department of Corrections facility. Just so everybody understands, it is the court's position that the defendant is not to be transferred into the regional jail system awaiting a bed at a Department of Corrections facility. Primarily because of the overcrowding that exists in the regional jail system. I think things are a little bit better in the juvenile side of the house until there's a bed available. So it is the court's intention that you go into Department of Corrections custody as soon as there is a bed available in Department of Corrections. I mean, if that's tomorrow, that's tomorrow. If it's 30 days from now, it's 30 days from now, whatever it is. Until then, she'll remain in the juvenile facility.
To reveal and the court to know that under the terms of my retention as Ms. Sheila Eddy's counsel, I will remain her counsel for all post-conviction matters into the foreseeable future.
Very well. I appreciate that. Thank you. Concludes the hearing.
All rise. Court's in recess. Please be seated.
How good to see.
All right, I apologize, you guys. I had to step, the baby started crying and I had to step away from the computer, so I just let it play. So I apologize that I let it go for so long. Did Skylar get to adjust being unalived? Exactly, Nomad. Exactly. Did she get an opportunity? Did I tell you guys that when Sheila was arrested, she said, she said
16-year-old girls be this methodical?
when she was arrested, she said, can we, will I be out of here? Like, I've got to hurry up and, can I be out of here enough time to, go get my nails done for prom or her hair or something like that? And the police officer was like, you're not going to prom. You're going to jail. Like, you're not going to be going to prom. Prom is over for you. Like, it was crazy. She was just worried about getting her nails and hair done. Absolutely insane. Hold on a second.
Done.
This is the lead detective. Look at that. Look at that, guys. That is current day Sheila Eddy. This is Sheila Eddy today.
Or could still do. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our coverage of this case. We have West Virginia State Police Sergeant Ronnie Gaskins with us today to go through this case with us. Sergeant Gaskins, Ronnie, you have been an integral part to the investigation into this brutal, horrible case with Skylar Neese. So, Ronnie, we know that, Skylar went missing back in July of 2012. When did you get called in to start working on this case?
So around that time, I was assigned to work a bank robbery investigation that had taken place after the disappearance. But it wasn't until about August of 2012 that I was contacted by Star City Police that they were getting some tips and some information coming in that the individuals alleged to have been involved with the bank robberies, their names kept coming up on the Neese case. So it was around that time I decided, well, let's meet with Star City Police, start sharing notes, and try to figure out if there's any type of connection to this case.
That's so interesting because, I've watched the Hulu documentary series, Friends Like These, The Murder of Skylar Neese.
All right, so this is something that I was going to tell you guys last night, and I couldn't remember the name of it. So if you have Hulu, this is a good documentary to watch. Friends Like These. It's the murder of Skylar Neese. Definitely check it out on Hulu. Also, what did I just do? I did it. I think I did just do it. Damn. Criminally Obsessed. Oh, man, let me see if I can go back. There we go. Let's see. Hold on one second. Let me drop this link. Criminally Obsessed. And yes, if you do have some free time, check out the Hulu documentary, Friends Like These. Let me see. Criminally. Well. All right. There's the link. Hold on. Obsessed. There's the link to Criminally Obsessed. This is fair use. I feel like the name of that channel is familiar. Like I've seen it before. Anybody else? She does a good job. But yes, Criminally Obsessed. There's the link to her channel. All right. Hold on a second. All right, let's keep going. Damn it. All right, let's keep going. Got lots of stuff. All right. Thank you guys for your patience. All right.
Put in a timeline of what was going on with this investigation, which I thought was really interesting. But as far as when you got involved and started looking at possible early theories, trying to figure out if there's any connection between these robberies and what happened to Skylar, because she was just vanished.
Yeah, so it wasn't until about September 2012 I was really more involved in the case, because that's when a lot of these search warrants that were issued for cell phone records started coming in. And once all those records started coming in, it was about September's when we really put our heads together to try to sort out all the information and try to establish some sort of connection to a possible bank robbery, money used to purchase drugs. Were those drugs supplied to Skylar that caused an overdose? Did she die because of the overdose? Did the people on scene get scared and they hit her body? So that's kind of what we were working with.
Well, there are a lot of really strong reasons to be suspecting other people. We're talking small towns, right? So everybody knows everybody in some kind of way. That's what it felt like to me. Like there was interesting connections no matter how you looked at it.
Yes, I mean, Morgantown, it's for West Virginia, it's a big town, but at the same time, it's a small town. There were a lot of smaller towns west of Morgantown out towards the Blacksville area, and those people know a lot. And a lot of information we were getting were coming from the locals out in that area. And that's just information that we were trying to run with at the time. It was just constant tips that were coming in from tips about the bank robbery, tips where there's a connection with her disappearance to that. We were getting tips that her body was allegedly dumped into a mine shaft with the bank robbery money. So that's what we were working with. For the longest time, it was just constant tips and rumors. And then we try to track down the source of that information, and we
Morgantown, how it kind of reminds me of that rumor mill that's always going on in a high school or whatever.
Right, because you had the students from University High School who went to school with Shof, Eddie, and Skylar. Then you had kids over in Blacksville that knew the guys that were supposedly involved in the bank robbery. So there was a lot of those sources and rumors coming from those two different schools. And also, the case was a bit of a challenge for us because a lot of the people that we were talking to were juveniles. And of course, rightly so, they were very protective parents. So it's not every day they get state trooper, an FBI agent, a local PD arriving at the house wanting to talk to their child.
Yeah. And it's terrifying, right? You're dealing with a young girl who's disappeared and they're probably scared. They don't know what's happened and everybody's getting suspicious of everybody else at that point.
Oh, absolutely.
It was a long 6 months of investigating what happened to Skylar. Talk to me about how closely did you work with Skylar's parents, Mary and Dave Neese?
I would say around September of 2012 is when I really started getting more involved in the case. And it was around that time, another investigator, Chris Berry, and I decided to drive to the Neese residence. And we wanted to talk to the parents to kind of get some, just get a feel for it, just let them know that, hey, we are working on this case. I thought it was appropriate that they meet the investigators. I wanted to get them comfortable with me. I wanted to get comfortable with them. And we decided to, just look over things again. We went to the apartment. We did talk to Mary. She was very, very nice, very cooperative. We went through Skylar's room. We went to the journals just to try to find anything that might connect or maybe something that was missed the first time, just kind of go over it again.
Yeah. And have you done many missing teen stories like this, cases, investigations?
Not at this level. The majority of the juvenile type cases are typically runaway, and more times than not, they're found the same day or just within minutes or hours apart, but nothing to this scale, no.
Yeah. And the parents, of course you start off, you're looking at the people that were closest to Skylar at the beginning. And I'm saying parents, friends, did you have to kind of go through all of that with them, be able to rule people out where they were, what was going on when Skylar disappeared?
Of course. And then once we got Skylar's phone records back, we started combing through who was Skylar talking to leading up to the night that she disappeared. And then once we could figure out who the owner of these phone numbers were, obviously we would go track them down and interview them. What did you and Skylar talk about? Was there anything helpful that would help the investigation?
Kind of go
before the bridge, and when you go across the bridge again, there's another sheets in the cell towers. Now, why are the girls out in Blacksville 4 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning? So it was even suspicious at the beginning, but it wasn't really until November where, for me, it felt like these girls are becoming more suspects.
I'm going to pull this up for us to look at real quick. Can you see the surveillance video?
Yes.
I just want to take a
Could you imagine Dave and Mary's frustration with this police force? I don't know about you guys, but if your kid was missing and you know for a solid fact that your child is not a runaway, she would never do anything like that. You tell cops that. You're telling the officers multiple times, listen, that's not my daughter. She's never done that. That's never been in her character. She wouldn't do that. I mean, that's got to be the worst. That had to have been the worst 48 hours of their life. Not knowing where her kid was. Cops won't even do anything about it. Could you imagine? It's just so horrible. I mean, it's just, All your photos are AI. It's pretty clear not everyone is daft. I don't care. I mean, this is me, bun on top of my hair, no makeup, no filter whatsoever. What exactly are you accusing me of again? All my pictures are AI? No. here I am in all of my flawed glory. Nice try though. Nice try. I'm not even going to say your name. No, not me. I don't have anything to hide. All right, let's keep going. Shall we? Let's see. What in the world? Look at this, you guys. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but this is just really quickly, I want to share this with y'all before we, hold on. Damn it. Look at this. It's actually a really good picture of Skylar. She was, hang on. Check this out. Look at that. Look how pretty she was. That's Skylar. For those of you who maybe don't know, yeah, she was beautiful. Oh, hey, Ernest, nice to see you. Hang on, guys. All right, y'all. I guess I might have to end this one. I'm gonna have to cut this short. I hate it. I hate having to cut it short, but I have to. I got some things I gotta do. So, with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me. I'm sorry we didn't get to the messages, but I don't know. I'm either gonna do another stream where I show all of the rest of the stuff from this case, or I may surprise you with a humble video, like a pre-record. All right, guys, y'all have a blessed night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Thank you for everything, guys. Good night. God bless. Please say a prayer for us tomorrow, by the way. Please say a prayer for all those that are in need, who are going through something.